Assalamu alaikum. Today we will talk about the adipose tissue. The contents are two topics: white unilocular adipose tissue and brown multilocular adipose tissue. There are two types of adipose tissue: white unilocular and brown multilocular. Firstly, we will talk about unilocular adipose tissue. The white adipose tissue or unilocular adipose tissue is the more common type and is composed of cells that contain one very large droplet of fat in their cytoplasm. In this image you will see that was white adipose tissue, and here these are the blood vessels. Almost all adipose tissue in adults is unilocular. The adipocytes of white adipose tissue are spherical when isolated, but are polyhedral when they are closely packed inside. And that means the adipocytes individually isolated, they appear spherical, but when they are closely packed together, they are polyhedral. Each adipocyte is very large, 50 to 150 micrometer in diameter, and contains a single huge droplet of lipid that fills almost the entire cell. And the white adipocytes are called unilocular because the triglycerides, which is the fat, the triglycerides are stored in this single large droplet. Unilocular adipocytes are often empty in standard light microscope preparations, because in this standard light microscope preparations there are some solvent solutions like xylene that dissolve the lipid from the cytoplasm of the adipocytes, so they appear empty. This large lipid droplet will be dissolved by solvents like xylene during routine histological preparations. And the cells have a signet ring appearance, زي الخاتم, because the nucleus and the cytoplasm are displaced laterally, and they are flattened due to the presence of this large lipid droplet. So this lipid droplet displaces the nucleus and the cytoplasm laterally, so it gives the appearance of signet ring. In this image, histological section H&E stand of adipose tissue, white adipose tissue. On the left side, you will see A stands for white unilocular adipocytes. As we see, they are large unilocular adipocytes, and here they are found within connective tissue. These are blood vessels. These white adipocytes are found within connective tissue. On the right side, we'll have a typical picture of white adipose tissue, and the cells appear empty, as we mentioned, due to that the lipids are dissolved by solvents of protein histological preparation. And we see here these are blood vessels. Inside the blood vessels are blood cells, red blood cells and white blood cells. So this is how the white adipose tissue appears in routine histological sections stained by hematoxylin and eosine, and these images are taken by light microscopy, magnification of 100. Most of the cytoplasm in a white adipocyte surrounds the nucleus and contains mitochondria, small Golgi apparatus, and few cisterna blocking the plasmic reticulum and free polyribosomes. All of these are found around the nucleus, which is found eccentrically, peripheral. The thin submembranous layer of cytoplasm surrounding the lipid droplet contains cisterna of smooth endoplasmic reticulum and pinocytotic vesicles. عندنا جزئين من السيتوبلازم. معظم السيتوبلازم بيكون حوالين النيوكليوس وفيه ميتوكوندريا وجولجي ابريتس سيسترن في سيسترن of roughly vascular reticulum, free polyribosomes, all of these around the nucleus, which is found peripherally, located eccentrically. The other part of the cytoplasm, which is thin submembranous layer of cytoplasm, surrounds the lipid droplet, the large lipid droplet, وبيكون فيها smooth endoplasmic reticulum and pinocytotic vesicles. In electron microscopic studies, transmission electron microscopy studies reveal that most adipocytes, especially the immature cells, contain minute lipid droplets, in addition to the single large droplet seen with the light microscope. تمام، يعني الالكترون مايكروسكوب نلقى معظم الاديبوسايتس خصوصا الاماتيور لسه ما بقت immature cell يكون فيها very small lipid droplets in addition ومعاها single large lipid droplet seen with a light microscope. يعني مع single large droplet دي بيكون في other minute lipid droplets. They are only can be seen by electron microscope, and this is most likely especially seen in immature cells. The white adipose tissue is subdivided into incomplete lobules by partitions of connective tissue. هي connective tissue ثابتة or partitions of connective tissue containing what? Vessels and nerves, vascular bed and nerve network. Other cells. If there are other cells found in the white adipose tissue, yes. The fibroblasts, the macrophages, and other cells, they constitute about half of the total number of cells. About half of the total number of cells is fibroblasts, macrophages, and other cells. Right. Is there any fibers in the white adipose tissue? Yes, reticular fibers are present, and they form fine interwoven network that supports the individual fat cells. Okay. The white adipose tissue is specialized for relatively long-term energy storage. They store this lipid. Each cell stores a large droplet of lipid. This lipid will be stored and mobilized when the body needs. So they specialize for long-term energy storage. مصدر تخزين للطاقة. And white adipose tissue also functions as an important endocrine organ. Because the white adipocytes are the sole source of leptin hormone, polypeptide hormone. This hormone regulates the appetite, and also it regulates the formation of new adipose tissue, this leptin. And this leptin, its target cells are found in the hypothalamus and other organs, but it's secreted by the white adipose tissue, white adipocytes. So we have finished the white adipose tissue. Now we are turning to the brown multilocular adipose tissue. The brown adipose tissue constitutes about 2 to 5% of the newborn body weight and located mainly in the back, neck, and shoulders. موجود في النيوبورن. This is in this image how it appears. This is a brown multilocular adipose tissue. The clear difference between this brown adipose tissue and the white adipose tissue. Here is a adjacent white adipose tissue, and this is a brown. The BV is the blood vessel. So there is a clear difference between the two. Let's move on and see. In adults, it is found only in scattered areas, especially around the kidneys, the adrenal glands, the aorta, and mediastinum. The brown adipose tissue has a color of brown, and this color, the color of brown adipose tissue, is due to what? Due to the very abundant mitochondria, which containing cytochrome pigment, and the large number of blood capillaries in this brown tissue, brown adipose tissue. The abundant mitochondria and large number of blood capillaries in this tissue gives it the brown color. The adipocytes of brown fat contain many small lipid inclusions and are therefore called multilocular. In this diagram on the right side, you will see this is multilocular adipocyte. This is an adipocyte of brown fat. زي ما ملاحظين, this is the nucleus, the center, and these yellow droplets are lipid droplets or lipid inclusions, small lipid inclusions. This yellow color, and this brown color is mitochondria. And this is how it appears. The cells, the nuclei appear central in the cells. There are many lipid droplets clearly seen in this section. So it's called multilocular. The cells of the brown adipose tissue cells are, the brown adipose tissue cells are polygonal and generally smaller than the cells of the white adipose tissue. هي أصغر. معلش هنا ده تكرار خطأ مطبعي. Brown adipose tissue cells are polygonal, generally smaller than cells of white adipose tissue. Their cytoplasm contains a great number of lipid droplets of various sizes, and nuclei are often centrally located. فيها many lipid droplets بالإضافة لأن النيوكليوس قاعدة in the middle. The adipocytes of brown fat are often closely packed around large capillaries. So brown adipocytes, they are closely packed around large capillaries, as we have seen in the previous image. The tissue is subdivided by partitions of connective tissue into lobules. These lobules are better delineated than the lobules of white adipose tissue. The main function of multilocular adipose cells or brown adipose cells or brown adipocytes is to produce heat by non-shivering thermogenesis. Okay, which is a mode of heat production without shivering, non-shivering thermogenesis. So and this non-shivering thermogenesis is mainly due to the characteristics of the multilocular adipocytes, which are presence of abundant mitochondria and many small lipid droplets, and also rich vasculature. All of these participate with a great role in heat production. Now let's summarize what we have talked about in this lecture. That the white adipose tissue is the more common type, and the white adipocyte is characterized by presence of one large lipid droplet in cytoplasm, and the brown adipose tissue is found principally or mainly in the newborn, and the brown adipocyte characterized by presence of many small lipid droplets and abundant mitochondria. So good luck and see you in the next lecture. Thank you.